Okay, so I've been meaning to start my YouTube training page / rant, whatever this thing turns into. I figured this is a good place to start. I've been on a sprinting journey for about a year and a half now. And originally I just wanted to hit 9.5 and a 10-yard fly. And then the more time I spent on the track, the more I fell in love with track and just being fast, or the pursuit of getting faster. And so recently I was with my buddy Blaine McConnell, who has the undisputed best damn training channel on YouTube. And I hit 22 miles an hour, which was way faster than I ever thought I was gonna be capable of running. In fact, I ran 9.9, so sub 1, 10-meter fly. Man, it was electric. And now it's like, okay, well, what's next? So I'm gonna try and run 23. I think that's my next goal. And who knows, like maybe I end up, competing at some track meets at some point in time. Just not that I think because I'm gonna win, but because I've just kind of fallen in love with training to be faster and training to be as athletic as I can. So today what I've got is essentially what's gonna be 3 to 4, just depending on how I feel, flying 10 meters with a 30-meter build. I have a general rule of thumb: if I PR, the session's over. So, if on that second or third rep, if I hit a PR, I'm shutting it down. I've pulled more hamstrings getting greedy after a PR than doing anything else. So that's the goal for today. I'm gonna hit a few warm-up sprints, probably a hard excel at 10, hard excel at 20, and then another hard excel all the way to 30, and then float and hold that at like 90, 95%. And then I'll start with my legitimate fly 10 reps. All right, so the warm-ups are out of the way. I'm gonna get, a hard start and essentially like a 90, 95 through, hard start through 30, and then hold like 90, 95 through my fly 10, and see what we get. We're gonna make some decisions based off that. Okay, I hit 109, which is like on par with what I think I should be hitting right now at that effort level. I will say today, the energy, everything, it's the last session I had, I hit that lifetime PR. I'm with a group of people, they're standing around, they're cheering you on, and just the juice and the feeling that I have right now relative to that, the stark contrast is wild. The track feels just like a little more offensive to my lower leg, like every step's just a little more difficult, but that's fine, that's training, I used to get bummed out on days where I didn't feel like I was poppy or springy, and like sometimes it just be like that. I think this is one of those days. But then also I've had moments where it's like, oh, today's gonna be, maybe not one of my better days. And then I end up hitting a PR. So I think it's important to remember too, most of your training should not be PRs. I've had a lot of success and a lot of linear progress because one, where I started from, I think I wasn't even hitting 20 miles an hour when I first started taking this sprint journey seriously. And so in essentially a year and a half to go from 20 to 22 miles an hour at, 34 years old is significant. And so yeah, like regardless of how I feel right now, I'm gonna go send it on this next rep. Let's see what happens, man. Just send it. We got a 106 right there. Relative to kind of how I'm feeling, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm on the edge of calling it or doing just one more rep. I think I'm gonna go one more and then shut it down. If I get out of here today with a 104 or a 105, that's a win. Again. Yeah, today is, I'm cooked. Today's not my day. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and break all this stuff down. I'm gonna do some hops on the turf over here. My lower legs do feel a little beat up. Maybe I do like 2 sets of 5 single leg hops, 2 sets of skips for distance. Timing gates up while I rest. When I get back, I'll knock out this second set, and then I'm gonna go big send on the skips for distance. Man, oh man, I'm cooked. Okay. We're gonna head to the gym, hit some isos, some nordics, and whatever else I have time for, and call it a day. I've got 15 minutes, so not ideal here. No records were broken at the track, but I'm going to spam this overleg, this overcoming ankle iso like my life depends on it. I'm also gonna slam this ginger ale because I need carbs desperately. Oh my God. There we go, boys. Okay. There we go. Let's push. Woo! Okay, one more round. Oh my God. Woo! Okay, so the way this is gonna work, I'm gonna do 3 sets of 5-second pushes. When I say 3 sets of 5, I'm doing 3 by 3 by 5. So I'm doing 3 sets on each leg for 5 seconds, 3 rounds of that. Now for time's sake, I've got 14 minutes before my next client, so I'm gonna superset this with a cable-assisted Nordic. Unknown cheat code. White dry fit material will make anyone look 15% more jacked immediately. So if you're feeling bad about yourself or you have crippling body dysmorphia like myself, get yourself a white long sleeve dry fit shirt, or in my case, just an SPF shirt. This is from Yeti. They do not sponsor me. They give me some free stuff because I know someone at Yeti. I would love if they paid me. They won't. But yeah, this is the cheat code. I mean, I'm 15 pounds more jacked than I am wearing this shirt. So we all know perception is reality. So this setup is really fantastic. I'm actually gonna get some reps. So one thing about Nordics is like all the benefits people talk about Nordics are from them actually being super maximal. You can't be able to lift yourself back up. That's an easy litmus test for it's like, oh, is this enough strain? Which for most people, a Nordic is that. However, like what happens is most people, including myself, don't have the ability to demonstrate any sort of control through the full range of motion of that Nordic. Well, I'm gonna add just enough resistance here so that I'm able to do that. I'm able to control, to some degree, my ability to lower all the way until my chest hits the pad, and then I can use some assistance to get back up. But the problem is if your capacity or the strength of your hamstrings is so little that you're not able to demonstrate hardly any control in that lowering portion, you're only getting like, 2 inches where it's a stimulus, and then the rest of it, you're just flopping or falling forward. That's kind of worthless in my opinion. So you want to demonstrate some sort of control through that eccentric portion, even if it's super maximal. I just talked myself into lightening the weight up a little bit, actually. Like that was perfect. I was able to hold it almost like the last half inch before I hit the pad, but there was no way I'm strong enough to still pull myself up. That is super maximal, but I actually demonstrated a bit of control. I would make the argument I could probably even add another 20 pounds of resistance for that last 3 to 4 inches, which I'm gonna do on the next set. So it looks like I'm gonna have just enough time to spam overcoming ankle isos and these Nordics. And then like I can live to fight another day tomorrow, and I can hit some like box squat and like some more like, call it tissue quality stuff where I can do some like light calf raises, some easy box squats, and then like abs, you know, but time is just gonna dictate. I'm not gonna be able to do all that stuff, but in a hierarchy of like what I wanna eliminate, what I wanna prioritize on my max velocity days, for me, the limiting factor seems to be foot, ankle, lower leg. And so more often than not, or actually always right now, within my programming, I'm gonna do my sprints, I'm gonna do my single leg hops, my skips for distance, my hurdle hops, my pogos, all that stuff at the track. And then I'm gonna come into the weight room and I'm gonna prioritize foot and ankle complex from a strength perspective. And then also hamstrings on that same day, just because they're already getting cooked. If I were to try and do these Nordics tomorrow, I mean, I wouldn't be getting a good stimulus. Because I would already be wrecked. So I might as well do them on this same day. But with something like a box squat or you know, a squat or a lunge pattern or whatever, like it doesn't matter today or tomorrow. It doesn't make a difference. It's not really gonna be impacted. Okay, we're back to the ankle iso. And this song is a banger. Oh my God. Into heartache, kill switch, stop. There's no way I'll be able to monetize this video. Not that it matters, I don't have enough followers. 3. So on these overcoming isos, if you're not making crazy sounds, you're not trying hard enough. You need to be fighting for your life on these things for them to be maximally effective. Woo! Take a little break so I can actually bring my best effort. So I'm gonna subject myself to this, because this is not fun. The overcoming ISO is not an enjoyable experience, really. So if I'm gonna do it, we're gonna send it, boys. All right, here we go. Okay, one more on each leg, and then we're back to the Nordics. You know me all too well. Nailed it. Come on, motherfucker. I think I need to chug another Canada Dry, another ginger ale. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we're doing it. I'm getting another ginger ale. I'm gonna smash this thing. Carbs are the ultimate PED. Legal. Many a time I have come this close to PRing a lift in the gym, and I've been here and I've chugged a Dr. Pepper or a ginger ale, which they just have stocked in the gym here, which is pretty sweet. Also dangerous. Wait 5-10 minutes, I'll crush that PR. Argue with your mama. I'm tempted to shotgun this just for the tube. Next time I'm in desperate need of carbs, and you know, whoever actually takes the time to watch this video, you'll remember me saying this, so when it happens, you'll be like, dang, Tim meant it, and he did it. So here we go. Here's ginger ale number 2 for performance. Oh my God. I've been sober 7 years. So needless to say, chugging carbonated drinks has been out of, it's been out. I mean, you know, I gotta tell you, the version of me that used to drink and hit the slopes would be really unimpressed with my chugging performance for this tiny little ginger ale. Probably for the best. So I'm gonna give myself a little more weight so that these are still super maximal, but I'm able to demonstrate control the whole way through. On these, I'm really like the way I'm managing like the rep, set and rep scheme. I'm doing 3 rounds, but I'm gonna take it to like 1 rep away from failure. And failure to me is not being able to demonstrate control through the full range of motion. So once I think I'm 1 rep away from that, I'm gonna shut it down. I probably got 1 more. This will be it. This is the last one. Okay, we've got 1 more round of each, and I saw my client just pulled up. 1 more round of each, and then we're gonna shut it down. Round 3, here we go. 2, 3. Oh. Jesus. Man, that is no joke. Thank you guys for watching the inaugural episode of my training series. The goal is gonna be to run 23 miles an hour, but still be jacked and athletic. Who knows how long it's gonna take? You know, it took me a year and a half to get from upper 19 mile an hour to 22. And it wouldn't surprise me if it takes me just as long to get from 22 to 23. And honestly, there's a good chance it never even happens. You know, I just don't have it in the bag, but I'm gonna try. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. Also head over to the Coach 'em Up podcast and like and subscribe there. That's my other YouTube channel. Peace.